Oh, we're live. Well, then, my name is Adam Henderson. Welcome to my Scrabble YouTube channel. I am autistic, so if you notice anything a little bit different about my channel, just uh, kind of don't worry about it. I am autistic. I am going to be a little bit awkward, and that's okay. Um, One thing about autism, and this is specifically for people who might be watching on my channel that either have been officially diagnosed as autistic or are self-diagnosed, or maybe you're not unsure whether you're autistic or not. I wanted to say at the beginning of this video that Scrabble is here for you. Scrabble has some positive benefits for autistic people. It can serve as a very positive special interest that you can, obsess over, and it allows you to be a little bit social by, going to clubs and tournaments and finding out which people you get along with. And Matt Kinnick recently said, because the New Orleans tournament just concluded, that they all go out to Bourbon Street after the tournament. This was the last day of the tournament, so I guess if you were interested in that type of thing, this would be a good day to do it. But especially before the last day, I would recommend, especially if you're autistic, just go to bed early. Autistics have trouble sleeping, and sleep is tremendously important to get as much sleep as you can during a tournament. And most people, even people who aren't autistic, do feel some kind of anxiety um, the nights before a tournament and have trouble sleeping. So that's perfectly normal if you find yourself having trouble sleeping before a tournament, especially a big tournament, one that you maybe you've paid over $1,000 to for a plane flight and hotel to go to. Scrabble is a very inexpensive hobby at first, but then when your rating starts to go up high enough into like 14, 15, 16, especially 1700, as you can see, I have Kevin Burbridge's profile. He's over 1700. It can be expensive because you need to fly out to different places, and because you really kind of made a name for yourself, and you should be proud of yourself if you get that high an rating. Um, and I'm one of those people, and I'm quite proud of that. And see if there's anything else I wanted to say. You may hear some noises from time to time. There's some people doing some work around the house. Uh, so I'm hoping that the OBS software and the and the hardware does its best to filter out unwanted noises. But of course, if they're particularly loud, you're going to hear them during the video, and I'm just going to have to put up with that. Today is the 20th. It's a holiday. I work in tech, and so I get today off. It's Martin Luther King Day. Great holiday. He was a great civil rights figure. Anyway, I'm not going to waste too much time before I jump right in. This game I'm going to analyze is against Kevin Burbridge. He's a friend of mine. We play on Wheels a lot, and he won't pass his turn if you make a three-letter phony. I played WAP against him in a game recently, but I, I think this is a good time to show off my Woogles rating. It was close to 2,000. I played two games against Steebot last night, where you can see Steebot just like bingos twice in a row with both blanks at the beginning of the game in the first one. And then on the second game I played, this one was a little bit closer, but it was still almost just as unfair. Take a look at this one. So he goes first and opens with Glouded. And then he has another bingo again. It was just frustrating. Yeah, so I did have a rating that was close to 2,000. I think this game was fun. This one opened with bandits. Okay, so I actually had a bingo here of Epergnas, which I didn't see, and I played Purged with an E, and I was looking for Purged. um, when I make moves like this, it's because I'm not really I'm maybe a little bit too relaxed, and I'm playing too quickly during a game that's not a tournament game. I'd like to think I wouldn't make a play like this during a tournament. Anyway, it comes off, and I got really kind of emotional after I realized the bad mistake I'd made. He plays Joe, so he's now ahead, but I was in much better position to win this game if I just didn't play phony here and blocked Joe somehow. I probably wasn't going to find a Purgenas. Of course, I still have a Purgenas, but I'm not going to see it. And then I drew. No, he has the Q actually, so he plays Chiller. And he doesn't have an E, so I can just play my setup here. I drew the blank. So here we're pretty much neck and neck. So the reason I wanted to show you this was like, even when you make a terrible mistake like playing Purged, it's important to realize that the game is not over, even though you might feel like this is too bad of a mistake to make and you should just definitely lose this game. And I definitely had that feeling. Of course, I found Retax here, which, after Retax came down, I'm way ahead in a game that I should have lost because of that terrible phony of Purged. I just wanted to show you that. Just don't give up just because you make a horrible mistake. Sometimes, and I definitely did need to do this in this game, sometimes if you make a horrible blunder, you may just need to take some time before making your next play to kind of recalibrate yourself mentally. And I'm not sure how long I took after Purge. How long did I take? So I had 1940. I played Purged. After, now I'm 1817. I took a good 3 minutes. That's about, I would say 3 minutes is a good amount of time after making a huge blunder, unless there's like an obvious play. But if there's not an obvious play, take a few minutes just to try to comfort yourself emotionally and realize that it's going to be okay. And so I did go on to win this game by quite a bit. I'm going to take a little break here before moving on to the main event of this video, which is Kevin Burbridge game. I'm not sure if I said it, but I'm not sure if I made the entire point I wanted to make earlier, so I'm going to say it again. When it comes to if you have autism or you think you might have autism, or maybe you're just not very social, it's okay to like not be the most social person and still be heavily involved in Scrabble. Like there's nothing really wrong with not drinking, not socializing. And everyone kind of has their own, like, when I go to a tournament, I do want to have some social interaction, but like everyone kind of has their own tolerance for it. And so It's not like I hate people, but I won't. I could make a joke here, but uh, yeah, it's not so much that I hate people. It's just you know, I think being autistic, I only have so much socializing I can do before I'm just done. Uh, so anyway, I'm not sure if I made that point right. I'm not sure if I said all the words I wanted to say right, but I gave it a shot with respect to that topic. Um, yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say for there. Let's look at this game here. So I go first in this game against Kevin. There was actually a study that I participated in. There was some woman that I guess was a psychologist or a psych major who was, maybe doing it for her master's or PhD. And I never really heard the results, but it sounded like she was doing a study of the positive benefits of Scrabble for autistic people. I'm just opening my phone so I can take a look at the game because I have it pulled up here as an image of how the game went. And this game is interesting. I don't know who won this game because I haven't looked, but this game is interesting because there's only 11 moves this game, which is a really short game. I'm guessing there was a lot of tile turnover in this game, which I'm a big fan of tile turnover. What's his name? Matthew O'Connor. On Google's you can find it. I actually printed it out so I could read it and because I don't really like reading things by staring at a screen. So I've been looking at it, and it's actually fairly decent strategy. It's very good strategy if you are interested in closed board positions. The only downside, of course, is that it's Collins, but if you can get past that, very interesting read. I get a little bit frustrating looking at those positions because I know I don't know all the Collins words that would be, like the shorter ones especially, that would be relevant. But he makes a lot of good points. I believe me and him had a spat on Josh Greenway's Scrabbleverse when it used to be a forum about tile turnover because I was a big proponent of tile turnover. I think, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat or in the comments, but I think because I'm more of a open board player and Matthew O'Connor is more of a closed board player, we're kind of diametrically opposed, and I think I'm more used to playing more tiles, and that just naturally, I'm a fan of tile turnover, so I'll play off more tiles, and that just naturally opens the board. And then he just really loves closed board positions, so there's really nothing wrong with. I do think there's a style. I think Matthew O'Connor says in the introduction that there should be no style in Scrabble. There's a correct style and there's an incorrect one, and I guess he thinks that closed board is the correct style. But yeah, I would say I don't think there's a correct style. I think there's room in Scrabble to have different strategies, and there, if it's your style to play closed boards, I think that's totally fine. If it's your style to play open positions like I do, that's fine too. I've got a lot of work to do as far as improving my closed board games, so I can learn from Matthew O'Connor in that way. So I had this. I wrote down loveliest on, but I'm pretty sure that's an. Oh, loveliest is valid, and there's also violets. So this was just a huge blunder here. So loveliest and violets play in several places. So yeah, I probably lost this game, and I lost it right here. I don't know how long I took on this move, but it wasn't enough. So this is why I lost the game, because I didn't find. I wrote down loveliest on my score sheet, and the thing about me is that one of the reasons I think I'm better when I play online is I'm more likely to take risks, and I chicken out a lot of words that I just I know them they're words, but I just um when I wrote it down, it looked so bad though. I was like, Lovius, this doesn't look like a word. But I need to be a little bit more bold when I play in tournaments. So yeah, this was a terrible miss. Played Voltai here for 24. I need to see my screenshot so I can see what happened here. He plays Queenie for 34. It was a pretty good play on his part. What? Abolished for 90. um abolished for 90. What do I want to say about this? I'm not a strong enough player that I could reasonably say that this was a big miss. I think if I was maybe 1800, I would say this was a big miss, but I'm still somewhere in the 1700s, and so I think in at this rating, I wouldn't consider this a big miss. But yeah, it is funny that I missed abolished as a 9. I absolutely love playing 9s. What did I play here? I played Bull-Eyed for 24. So I did play actually through here, but yeah, I should have looked longer for the 9. If you see if you find a word like Bull-Eyed for 24 and you have good letters on your rack, these are reasonably good letters. It's worth, depending on what your time situation is, it may be worth taking a few minutes to try and look for a 9 as a bingo. The problem with playing 9s is that it's such a time sink to try and look for 9s that it's often you only get 25 minutes, and there's so many like strategic considerations and like looking at how what's still in the bag and trying to figure out what your optimal leave should be with considering what's still in the bag. That it's often just not worth wasting the time looking for a 9, because sometimes you're just going to waste all that time and not find anything. So yeah, it's just something to think about. I would say try to focus on learning your 7s and 8s before focusing too much on 9s. Okay. We're at his next play. And the score right now, early in this game, is pretty even. You can't really say that either one of us is favored to win at this point in the game. But he does make a pretty high-scoring play of Womb here. Brings him up almost 30 points on me. Which it's hard to consistently make a play that's 30 points or higher. A lot of times you have to settle for a play that's in the 20 to 30 point range. I didn't have to settle on this particular move because I had pretty decent lead when I played Bull-Eyed. So I could play. I played flags here for 35. I also had flash, but I kind of like flags better here, keeping EH. I don't do like really in-depth like simulation because it does take a long time to sim a play, and I'm just not strong enough to really be able to get the most out of that, especially when most of my games are lost by missing words like violet or playing phonies. It's not worth the minutia of trying to perfect my game yet by using this Quackle or Macondo. So that's why I'm not doing it. If you're one of the top players and you disagree with that, go ahead and put in the comments your thoughts. I mentioned earlier that I'm not going to let like people like bully me in the comments section, but if you disagree with me and you just want to like give constructive disagreement, yeah, I'm not going to be upset about that. So here I just played Ache. I think that's fine. Ek is better. I just forgot that was a word. Means to increase. Yeah, Ek would have been much better. So Ache keeps 2 E's. Ek keeps an A and an E, which is perfect. So Ek was much better play. He plays Quay. If I ever get to the 1800 point level, I think I'd definitely want to like learn how to use Macondo. I hear it's a little bit difficult to like set up and use, but I'd still like to do it. I kind of like the idea of using Macondo better than using Quackle, even though Quackle's going to be more user friendly to set up and use. So I played Favs here. Eft is so that's completely brand new. Eft. That's why I missed it. But I think it was playable during this tournament because this was just last year in August or September. I think it was August. So yeah, F was just a big miss. And AEVUV isn't terrible. So I played Favs. I'm guessing I played Favs to try and block a potential, because after Quay he could have some pretty decent. Neither blank has been played, and that's probably the best place to play bingos. So I was trying to block a bingo, but it doesn't really block it because you can play bingos on either side of the F. So maybe this wasn't the best idea as far as blocking. Does he bingo right away? No, he doesn't. So he plays dairy. So there's no unhorned, but there is a dehorned. And that's what I played here for 72. I tried unhorned during World Cup as a triple and it came off. That was a sad moment. He plays so now he really does have. Now he really is fishing. So if I could block off all of the potential bingo spots, I should. But it's just not going to happen. What did I play here? I played Gazoo. Where does that? Oh, okay, so that plays here, but playing here is better. It does float a G in the triple lane, so potentially if he has the right letters, he could be tripling here. So I'm not really sure if this is the best play. He is going to be bingoing next move. I'm not sure if there's really a reasonable chance to just block all of his bingos. I don't think this board's way too open to block all of it. So he is going to be bingoing next move. So I think playing Gazoo here is fine. But it's worth checking just to see what if I played Gazoo here, would he had a triple. So was Aunties a natural? Yes, it was a natural. He had natural Aunties. So yeah, he would have had a triple. So I'm glad I didn't play Gazoos there. Let's go back to what actually happened in the game. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he won this game. Now that I see he played Aunties, it's going to give him a decent leave, and I'm just not going to have enough good tiles to really come back. But it's my fault because I that was a terrible miss. Because I even knew Loveyest, I just chickened out of it. That's one thing about playing Kevin Burbridge in particular is if you're at home and you're watching like the live streams of him, like I think he was on one or two games early on in this Crescent Cup. I know he was at least one game. He doesn't seem like he'd be that intimidating, but he has some kind of way about you. He does play a lot of phonies. He played quite a bit of phonies on stream, and if you ever play him, just know that it might be unexpected, but he does have a way about him that he kind of exudes a lot of confidence. So just try not to get bamboozled is what I'm trying to say. Let's see here. So Aunties comes down. So my best chance is to bingo with this rack. So I played Azo. So yeah, that's fine. I think Azo is going to be fine here. So there are a few 3-point plays, but they use all my best tiles. So yeah, I think Azo's fine. Let's see here. Yeah, unfortunately, he does draw the J here. If he hadn't drawn the J, I probably would have had a chance in this game. I think this one may have been close. I'm not sure. So Tarsier isn't going to be play. Artsier isn't going to be play. Arteries was the play. So that scores quite a bit from more than my actual play of Tariest. So yeah, I should have looked longer. I don't know how much time I had at this point, but if I had the time, I should have looked longer instead of just automatically playing Tariest. Hopefully I didn't lose by like 12 points in this game. So this actually brings us even, but he actually has a bingo coming back because he has the blink now. Plays in Snarl. Oh my god, if I had found Buckaroo, that would have won. Actually, it would have tied. That's fun. Buckaroo. Yeah, it's worth looking for bingos on like every turn. because you have these weird like freak accidents like buckaroo that happen sometimes. I wasn't even considering looking for a bingo, and maybe if I had looked for bingos, I would have found it. That's sad. But yeah, buckaroo isn't what happened in this game. It wasn't a tie. It would have been a lot of fun if it was. Um, I played break for 42. And he plays Tinter for 27. And the final score was 359 to 436. So he misscored something. Yeah. Um yeah. If I had played Buckaroo, it would have looked like I had won by 2 points, but we would have done a recount and then we would have seen it was a tie. All right, yeah, so that's this game. We're at 31 minutes. That's a good amount of time. Thanks for watching my video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.